Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be speaking about 3 important objectives you need to accomplish if you want to make a sale. The first one is that you need to create a sense of respect for you. And in order to do that, you need to talk about your experience, you need to talk about your talents, and you need to talk about your abilities. Of course, if you would be selling a house, you would talk about the fact that there are 3 bedrooms, and if you were selling a car, you'd be talking about the fact that the car has air conditioning. So that seems sort of elementary. But when we're talking about ourselves, we're reticent to talk about ourselves. We're hesitant, we're uncomfortable. And why is that? It's because we've been trained, we've been programmed by our parents to be modest, not to talk about ourselves. And therefore we're uncomfortable talking about ourselves. And that's a problem, because the prospect cannot make an effective decision if you do not communicate what it is that you bring to the table. So you need a script, you need to be able to talk about yourself, and you need to be able to share why it is that you're a special commodity that the prospect should be pursuing. That's the first point, that the client or the prospect has to be able to respect you. The second issue is that there's a principle of mine called contrast and compare. And even if you're buying something very, very simple like a box of cereal, you'll be contrasting and comparing one against the other. You can be sure that the prospect will be contrasting and comparing you versus the existing vendor. Usually there's an existing vendor. So that means that you have to be ready to talk about your company and what it does and be able to prove why they should stop using Seymour and start using you. So you need to know about the strengths and weaknesses of your competitor in order to be able to make a clear and cogent and powerful presentation. Without that, chances are you will not make the sale. The third important objective that you have to accomplish is a sense of urgency. The longer the period of time goes by that the prospect doesn't make a decision, the chances are they will simply revert back to their default position and go right back to Seymour and stay with Seymour and not hire you. The way to overcome that problem is to create a reason for urgency, such as every day that your company doesn't make this decision, it's going to cost you $10,000, or you're going to lose opportunity, or your competition will gain an important edge. Unless you give them a reason for urgency, chances are they will go back to the comfortable and to the familiar. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen?